Hiya, my name's Noel and I have an ancestral lineage that connects me to here in the city of Perth. And of course, one of the things that we always do when we have the opportunity, and particularly like now for you in the town of Vincent, is to do a welcome to country. And to do that, and why we do that, is just so important. It's spiritual, and that connects us not just to the country and to the land itself, but to the spirit of this place. So I would like to say to you, on behalf of my ancestors, Wanju Wanju, Nicha, Wajak Nyunga Buja. And as we think about where we live and work here in the Vincent area, then we've got all the modern facilities that run through, and streets and streetscapes and parks and what have you. Well, if we go back before that, there was a time when the river used to close off in the Fremantle area and the water would build back. And as it built back, it would flow through and fill what was a chain of lakes that can still be found in this area, like Hyde Park and also Lake Munga, and leading on from there to Ngullamayup, which is Herdsman's Lake. And that old area there is a songline and a trail that runs through right through the city of Vincent. And of course we know it really well, and we still go along and we still access it. And so because of that, we would be able to then tell you this. And even where it goes past the Edith Cowan University, and there's a little lake there we call Gingerjeerup, which is the place of the honey eaters. And we're referring specifically to the pollinators, and it's the honey eaters that pollinate that area. But as the lakes fill up, and as they fill more and more and more, then you have a completely different suite of waterfowl running right through that area. There were huge paperbarks, and you can still see one or two of them to this very day growing in Hyde Park. And of course they were much bigger, and several people could put their arms together and go around the circumference of the trunks of those trees. So here we are now looking at it at a different layer, and still exists that old spiritual flow for us, and we called it Borlu. And that's where the lakes fill and then empty, and fill and then empty. And a certain species of fish would swim in there called qualla, the mullet, lay their eggs. That timing of the hatching would be with the waterfowl that have laid their eggs in their nests and the hatching of the young. And when those fish are little fishlings about so long, then those fish would just be eaten in huge numbers by the new birds, and they would grow really quickly, and then of course they're migratory and they would move on their journey, and the lakes would dry up and be smaller again. We also have Reconciliation Day coming up soon, and I'd like to think that you will celebrate that day. And quite simply, reconciliation is taking us to a point where we collectively as a community can spend some time reflecting on how we should be looking at going forward to a future together, and you know, embracing the two different cultures. And that's exactly what they are. However, when it all boils down, we believe everything is connected in the Aboriginal world, everything. And when we say that, that means we should be one community where we all look after each other and not have this us and them. And that's what reconciliation is all about to me, is where we get along, because let's face it, we're all in this together. And one of the catch cries we'll have this year for our NAIDOC week is always was and always will be, because that's in relation to the land, and we never seceded the land. We still have our sovereign rights intact, and that's spiritually. It might not be in relation to some written forms and government models and things like that, but nonetheless we are who we are, and I think we should embrace each other, make sure we look after each other, and make our way onto a future where we can all celebrate here in the wonderful town of Vincent, and yeah, go forward together. So looking forward to catching up with you sometime somewhere. Take care. Bye.